What do people get out of green spaces like this in Wigan? That's the crux of it for me. My love for nature came when I started working for the Groundwork Trust about 15 years ago. Elnup Woods in Shevington, on the outskirts of Wigan, was an old coal mine. Since all that stopped, it's developed and flourished into an amazing woodland. Not a lot of people know about it. You can easily pass it by. The best time to come is now, like the back end of April, early May. Bluebells, there's two common varieties. The Spanish hybrid, up the stem of the bluebell, the bells will come off either side. But an old English style bluebell is just, the bells just come off one side and then they droop. Once they're out in bloom, they only last a few weeks, so you can easily miss them. Elnup Woods, it's very good for families this time of year. Bluebells, they make a good habitat for insect life, and the bees, they absolutely love them. There's been deers walking past. We've seen last year otters coming up the stream. Wigan has got an amazing amount of green spaces. We've got something called the Wigan Flashes, which is about 8 or 9 old open cast coal mines, which have now been filled in, obviously, and trees planted, and they're now protected nature reserves.
I am Caitlin Nicholas. I'm a nature-based artist, and I'm going to show you a craft activity you can get up to in Elnup Woods. So in traditional English folklore, bluebells were a sign of fairies coming out of hibernation, and stories were told of fairies playing the little bluebells like instruments and having big parties to celebrate the end of winter and the beginning of summer. So I thought today we could make a little fairy den so that the fairies have somewhere to rest once they're finished partying. So for this craft, all you need to bring with you to the woods is just a bit of string and something to cut it with, and everything else you can find with you on the forest floor. Start off with 2 sticks that are similar sizes, and we'll make them into a little triangle, and then we just wrap a really tight knot, and then you just carry on this process, and then we can get creative with it. So what I've got here is some things I've found on the forest floor, these lovely fern leaves, some pine cones, some nice bark. And then I'm just going to decorate this and make it look homely for some little fairies. And whatever you find might be different to what I find on the forest floor. And there we go. There's our little fairy house. So while I was researching the folklore of bluebells, I came across this amazing poem by Cicely Mary Barker, written in 1926, so nearly 100 years ago, and it explains the lore of the bluebell fairy. O bells on stems so thin and fine, no human ear your sound can hear, O lightly chiming bells of mine. When dim and dewy twilight falls, then comes the time when bluebells chime, for fairy feasts and fairy balls. They twinkle while the fairies play, with dance and song the whole night long, till daybreak wakens cold and grey, and elfin music fades away.